cup. So that's why I'm here now. I've just got back. Okay. So that's why I'm interested here, being an Indonesian.
The theme of today's session is State of the Nation, Engaging with Indonesia 2015 and onwards. More so than any other country in our immediate region, Indonesia is essential to Australia's prosperity and security, but now and in the coming decades. Australia has an unprecedented opportunity to engage and prosper in new partnerships that deliver goods and services required by this rapidly developing nation. Equally, Indonesia recognises the need for partnerships if it is to achieve its potential and transform the nation's economy. This provides a unique opportunity to build integrated supply and value chains between our two great nations, who are the closest neighbours and quite complementary economies.
If you look at those lines, what it tells you very visibly, the blue line's going up constantly, the red line's coming down. And if you ask in very real terms, are you better off or worse off? Indonesia says very loudly, we're better off. Any of these numbers, they're all heading in the right direction. Red going down, blue going up, in very large numbers. If you ask, where does the confidence actually comes from? It comes from disposable income. The pink line and the blue line representing average household expenditure, and the blue line representing the main breadwinner's income, that has always historically been squeezed together every month, year after year. But what you now see in the last 3 years is a gap, a widening gap. And that is a graphic picture of developing countries and their disposable incomes. That's where the confidence is coming from. Now, we all understand what the World Bank means when it says middle class per capita $3.25 per day per capita. I understand that, everybody understands that. But I also know that for me to get to Flinders Street Station from Sandringham costs more than $3.25 one way. So who am I? Am I middle class or broke or what? But in a developing country, if you're talking about $3.25 in the city of Jakarta, it would buy you lunch, certainly, for the family. In a village near Slamet, 100 miles away from a big city, it would buy the whole family breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so we've created a peg, and that's the Roy Morgan middle class indicator, comprising a television set, a refrigerator, a motorcycle, or a car. So if you have 3 of these 4 things, we believe that in a developing environment, that should constitute entry-level middle class. And by that total, today, Indonesia has 60% of its 65 million households in the middle class sphere. It amazes me every time we talk about this, how Australia is number 3 or number 4 in a given month in preferred country of manufacture. Yet, there are no Australian brands with the exception of ANZ, Commonwealth Bank, and a handful of others. There are no brands visible in that country from Australia. And yet, it is because we are neighbors and they actually like us that we are still ranked as number 3 or number 4. To me, that's a picture of money waiting to be made. So here's an invitation. Go make some money in Indonesia. Thank you.
Why am I here today? My good friend Bebnath here, talked to me about and suggested that I should come to Australia and do a speech. after giving a lot of thoughts, I told him, okay, I'll agree, but under two conditions: that I could speak freely, openly, candidly, and second condition is I want to meet some business people here in Australia. So he said, no problem, Australian can take, direct talk. So that's why I'm here today. I think if you can you talk openly, directly, you can do it with friends. And I consider Australia as our friend. You? I know that we are not the Indian elephant, we are not the Chinese dragon, but the orangutan is now in the room. And like that gentle giant, I'm going to wander around during this talk. I'm going to explore the issues that stand in the way of our relationship, even if I go around in circles a little. There are some serious issues in our relationship. They bother me, they make me mad. It is shocking that with our proximity and Indonesia's vast marketplace, we are not in Australia's top 10 trading partners. Very frustrating. How can that be? The UK is in the top 10, though far away. I understand these historical ties. Malaysia and Thailand are in the top 10. They're nearby. I understand that too. But we, Indonesia, we are your nearest neighbors with a marketplace of 250 million people, more than double the size of Malaysia and Thailand combined. We are not in your top 10. And I struggle to understand that. In fact, we are at a low point and we need to exert serious efforts to manage our relationship better. I do want to acknowledge the many real difficulties that Indonesia's business environment still presents. For Australians wanting to engage with Indonesia, it is true that there are more than just cultural barriers that need to be overcome. It's not only our terrible traffic jams. Our workforce lacks skills. Few Indonesians speak English. Many of our people lack high-quality education. Our government is extremely bureaucratic. Corruption, lack of transparency, and accountability is widespread. These are all real problems. We are not sweeping them under the carpet. Last year alone, we had more high-profile arrests and indictments than any other developing country in the world. My message has one overall theme. We are neighbors, we should be frank. If we are real friends, we do business together. We both have much to win. But please, let's not waste any more time. Please remember that the world is investing in Indonesia. We continue to be the most favored market in the world for Japanese and Korean businesses. On a per capita basis, we drew more foreign direct investment, or FDI, last year than any other developing country, including China and India. With globalization shaping so much of what we all understand, it's all the more important to reach out and create bridges between our two nations. I believe that business can be a force for good. Business can help bring our peoples together, build lasting bonds. The private sector has a big role to play in making this change happen. There are huge opportunities. As a leader of the Indonesian private sector, not a government official, I see too many lost opportunities in the way things are going now. You are the world's 50th largest economy. We are the 60th. Forecasts from leading institutions say we are on the track to be number 7 by year 2030. The most recent report says Australia's total investment in Indonesia climbed 80% over the previous year to $9 billion. That is good news indeed. But the reality remains it is only $9 billion, a relatively small sum. Most of that money is invested in the mining and resources sectors by a small number of big companies, whereas the rest of Australia's big businesses, where are the Australia's SMEs? Most importantly, we have amazing complementary, and we are not really competitors. Just the other day, I was with my friend Greg Moriarty, your ambassador to my country, and the question came up, is there another set of two countries in the world who have the same opportunities that lie before us? We could not think of any. I think Indonesia and Australia have an exceptional opportunity to forge a relationship like no other. We will both win, we will both make money, and we'll make friends. Thank you very much.